Okay, so this session is being recorded. So welcome to, I think this is the third session for this HR conditioning. I would say conditioning exercises. So I think a couple of things which I wanted to discuss. If you got a chance to look at the Kapalbhati videos, that is a very good starting point. And apart from that, Kapalbhati, which is like breathing technique, which means you exhale forcefully and inhale voluntarily, like involuntarily. So you don't inhale forcefully, only exhalation part is forceful. Okay. So with that, what happens is there are a couple of benefits of that. It basically empties your lungs and then tries to basically make them work. So it increases your lungs capacity, and there are some studies done on that where I can share those also. So what it does is it increases the lungs capacity. So hence more oxygen and more blood flow to your heart. So that is one good thing. Second thing it does is it basically helps you to it also increases your metabolism, so you are able to digest your whatever you eat pretty fast. Third thing, which what it does is it cleans your large intestines. It gives lots of you might see that when you do that you will feel going to the bathroom immediately after doing that, especially for passing the poop and all. So I think those are a couple of things which are pretty good, and all these exercises should be done empty stomach. So having said that, Kapalbhati is the, I would say, cardio of breathing. We need to prepare ourselves. So we need to start with a warm up also and end with warm up also. So that's where Anulom Vilom, which is like alternate breathing. I think most of you will know that because that's a very common breathing technique. In that also there are a couple of stages. So one is you put your, let me actually pin my screen so that everybody can see the video later. Up my video. Hey Arvind.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good to have you here.
Mm.
So Arvind is one of our like USA heart enthusiastic researchers. So he has also done some research. So I'll also have him give some
Hello,
tips.
everyone.
Okay. So what happens is, let me just get down so that I can show also. We'll talk, but I think it's show and tell together. So what we do is with the Kapalbhati, there are two ways of doing it. First is you put your like uh, whatever right thumb onto your right nostril, and put the two fingers on top of your forehead, and just inhale from the left side. So okay, so what you do is count. Let's say count till 6 or 7 or 10. Usually, like we say start with 10, hold it in the middle for 10, and then exhale from the right side for 10. So that is simple way. And as and when you start doing this, when you become more conversant, what will happen is you will be able to do this without even putting your thumb and all. So you can tell your mind that I have to breathe from the left nostril. It will take in the breath of the left nostril, and then hold it in the middle for 10 seconds, and then exhale from here. So that is one thing. So I can do a quick demo, but I think most of you know that. So what I will do is I will just show once how to do it and how basically it can help you to basically warm up, and then how to, and you should do it 5 times after finishing the Kapalbhati also. So start from left, put your thumb on your right nostril, and for three fingers on the forehead, and inhale from left and count till 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Now hold it in the middle for 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exhale to the right. And again inhale from the right for 10. 1, 10. Hold in the middle and exhale from the left. So this is one set. So you should do at least 5 sets before you start the Kapalbhati, because this basically warms up your uh, cardiovascular system. So now Kapalbhati, I have posted the videos. So most of the people have complained that or complaining that they are not able to sustain the breathing after 10 or 12 breaths. So what common mistake most of the people do is you basically take a deep breath and start inhaling and exhaling. Each and every breath should be separate. So that's what is Kapalbhati. So once you do the breath, it's like, so you're forcing it out, stomach goes in, and then so you can go up to hundreds, like how many ever you want to do, as long as you are not sick and tired of sitting and all. So I normally do in the reps of 300s for each of the three exercises. But more than speed or more than the volume, the accuracy is important. So you need to learn the best the right approach to do that. Well, what I'll tell you, what happens is, let's say if you take a deep breath and then start doing Kapalbhati, that's where you will feel exhausted. So I think most of the people think that I should take that. So I think I'm guessing because my wife used to do that also initially when she started. So let's say if you take a deep breath and then try to do, so after 30, you will feel I'm getting out of breath. So I think that's key thing. Every breath is separate. Only thing is you should first learn how to do it properly and then gradually increase the speed. Yeah. Any question? Okay. So I think that's one thing. So second thing is now with this kapal with these breathing. Now the next thing is the diet. I think diet we discussed that try to eat oil free or minimum oil and most greens, which are very helpful for the overall like functioning of your cardiovascular system, because that provides lots of good, I would say, anti-inflammatory effect. Okay, so that's now, the third thing is we have talked about the workouts, heart rate controlling workouts. So before we go there, do you guys want to do this with me, Kapalbhati, or can we? Does anybody wants to show how you're doing so that we can see if you're doing it right or wrong? Because I just want to make sure you learn it properly. That's why I thought let's have this session today, and then I'll talk through a couple of workouts which can assist you along with this. Anybody?
I can do it, and you can let me know whether I'm doing it right or not.
Why don't you let me just pin your video so that people can see and I can also see. Hold on 1 second. Pin, replace pin. Okay. Yep. Go ahead, Nilima. Yeah. That's very good. Yeah. Good. I think that's very good. Just keep your arms also totally relaxed. Face also should be like just. I think there is some stress at the face, but try to just like calm down, like just like
Okay.
as if you're sitting in a garden. Actually, I would have done it outside, but it's raining today, so I was
Yeah.
looking forward to that. So yeah, I think if you do that way, that's good. There is no it's there's no force. Like it's just like it should come naturally. It's like you're breathing naturally, but only thing is while you're breathing, while you're exhaling, you're forcing it out, and then automatically it will take it in, and stomach will start moving accordingly. So I think the key point you need to make sure is that your stomach and the lower part of the abdomen that goes in and out. Even if it doesn't go 100%, even if it's 30%, you will still get the. But eventually, I think that's the goal. And shoulders and all should be still. And you're doing it good, because normally people when they start, what happens is they start moving. Shoulders also start jumping. So, so only thing should move is your lower abdomen. So I think that's good. Okay, good. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Okay, so I think that's on the breathing. So now let's come to the workouts. So what we have been doing is that the workouts. What I have done is I have created some what do you call, in Garmin you can create automated workouts, and I think now you can do it on Apple also. So I think I shared in the group also. There is, let me share it again and we can all take a look at that together. So this is the workout which I have created, and what it does is it is actually I think I sent it, but let me send it again here. So this is heart rate enthusiast. Next, send. Okay, so I'll share my screen and walk you through this particular workout. What it does is, so share the screen. Actually, 1 second before I do that. What's up? Come on, downloads. Sorry, it's just taking a while. Okay, open. Yep. Okay, so I don't know why I did that, but
I think when you started sharing, it stopped maybe because of that setting, I believe.
let me, okay, I think there is an option in that. So let us see. Okay, so where we are, this is the second one, which is 2 miles. Okay, so share my screen, share sound also, optimize for video clip. Let's see if it doesn't stop now. I don't want to install at this time. Come on. Can you see the screen now?
Yeah.
Okay, and where did that screen go? Yep, this one. So here what we do is we create a workout where we have 2 steps only. So first step is, let me make it bigger. Yep. Run 1 mile at your conversational pace. Then 5 times you repeat that, go for 0.1 mile at a heart rate of threshold, which is the maximum heart rate, one below maximum. So like you try to keep it about 140 to 150 or whatever maximum you can run. Like go at the fastest pace. And then during the recovery time, you go 0.1 mile at a 15:30 to 18:30, like just kind of a brisk walk or run. So what it does is this pumps up your heart rate, and the second one brings it down to normalcy, and then repeat it for 5 times. So this is very effective. I have seen, this is where Bala says that your heart will, your system will create new blood capillaries. So I have experienced this, it's firsthand, because when I started running, my average heart rate used to be 158 to 160 plus. So I followed this pattern because I was in half marathon. So immediately when I started doing this strides run, I saw tremendous difference. And to make it more effective, if you can try this on a slightly slopey hilly area with the hill runs, that will even add more value. But again, make sure that you do it at based on your health conditions, and don't overdo and land up into some issues. But that's what it will help you in the long run. Okay, so I think these 2 things I have covered. Any questions now, or any other things which anybody wants to discuss? Otherwise, the thing is, like, try to contain your heart rate whenever it goes beyond a certain threshold. And the best way to do it, rather than manually looking at the watch, create those automated workouts, and that will keep warning you that, hey, you are going beyond your capacity. So slow down now. So now let's open it for the forum.
Hello, Coach. This is Ajay. I just joined last week from your link in Balas.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, hi, Ajay.
Yeah, just switching the video. So I was going through the strides. Just my question is like, I've just started looking through those videos and trying to get into all those. I've not fully started going through the videos yet, all the videos. About the strides, I have a question. When you say strides, now we are again going to start this run, 1920 and all. And Bala has given me a series of activities over the week, right? When do I accommodate these strides?
Strides is already there. If you're a full marathon or a half marathon, you
Yeah.
should the workout. So that for you, it's taken care of. This is for
Okay.
only for the 5K and 10K because normally their workouts don't have strides. So that's
Okay.
because uh, that's why I made it a very small workout, 2 miles only, and you can reduce it also. Let's say for the 5K and 10K, if you feel that 2 miles is too much, just run 0.5 mile first. Make the first mile as 0.5 miles, and the rest of this 1 mile. So try to do 1 mile strides. That will help.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Anything else? Jitu, you want to share your? I heard like Jitu has benefited a lot. So why don't you open your camera and say some words like how you like brought down? How do you control your heart rate? I saw some good this thing from you.
Yeah, can you see me? Yes. Yes, Coach Mo. So I think this is my third season with Bala, RHWB, and I think the first two seasons I really wasn't very structured. I think my pace controlling wasn't really off. I was doing conversational pace, but I was running fast and a little slower. I was trying to, I don't know, trying to do maybe too much reliance on PRSS, progressive reverse splits, and I was trying to speed up towards the end of my first mile or the third or the fourth mile to do a little lesser than the previous mile. And overall, though, I got my half marathon done, but nonetheless, I don't think I ever really had a very structured rate because my heart rate kept spiking. Well, even now, even to the beginning of the season, before I joined your group, Coach, I mean, first mile I'll be in like 120s, 130s, and by the time I hit my second mile, it would zoom up to past 150. I mean, even though I was running what to me was conversational pace, right? So, and it spiked up, and then it would just keep going to like up to 170s, obviously that was the problem. And I realized that I know my coach told me it's not really practical. I think this season I've slowed myself even further. I think main thing was, I can run a little faster than what I'm doing now, but nonetheless, that spikes my heart rate. And like you said, keeping an eye on my heart rate and slowing myself down further and further is helping me. I guess it's. I think I've finally understood what a true CP run means after 3 seasons.
That's really
And I did a 7 mile run 2 weeks ago when I posted. And I think it felt so effortless.
Yeah.
My pace was a little slower than norm, but it felt so effortless. I was like surprised how I still felt fresh, after the full 7 mile run. And then the last week I did this past week I did finally I captured the breathing techniques and tried to uh, I didn't do all of the techniques you mentioned, but I did a couple of things. Again, it felt so much easier. I mean, earlier I used to be panting, I'd be huffing and puffing, and by the time I finished my run, but there was a 4 mile run, and by the time I was done, I felt like as fresh as I started. So I have my 7 mile run again today. So I'm hoping to continue both these aspects. And another thing that I found without even noticing was my cadence has improved tremendously, because for the last 2 seasons my cadence was in the 150s, and since I started doing these, I've been consistently hitting 160s and even 170s, which have also found me helping helping my I guess my runs become even easier, less strenuous to me. So this seems like I know coach last year, my coach had told me how try to improve cadence, but as I think I was artificially trying to improve my cadence, and then my feet started hurting and I stopped. And now it's coming naturally to me, so improving the cadence. So it's almost like a combination of all things are coming together finally. Even though this season has been very rough, I've been very sick, I've had body pains, all kinds of issues. I haven't been consistent with my training, but nonetheless, these techniques you're teaching, little things, little implementations here and there I feel like even though I've missed probably half my runs this season, I still feel better off than my previous seasons when I did all my runs. So anyway, I'm hoping to continue this and see how it goes.
Fantastic. I love these kind of testimonies. It's not that it's positive, but the thing is, even small, very, very small changes can make really big differences. So I think that's the key here. And mostly, I think what we are stuck up is like most of the people from Indian background or Indian heritage, they think that running means you have to speed up. That's the thing. So I think whole point of running is to enjoy the running, have that experience, build endurance, and do that. So good. I'm glad it's working out. And slowing down is the key thing, because we need to put a leash around ourselves. I think that's the problem, because we always tend to do that. So I will share my experience also after. Let's hear from Arvind. Arvind Kandaswamy. He's also just now sent a text that it took him also 3 years to understand. It's the case with everybody. So Arvind, why don't you? Because Arvind has been working on the side, like on managing the heart rate. He went through some studies. Let him share his experience, and then I think towards the end, and then I'll share my experience, my latest few runs, which I'm really like overwhelmed. Like I'm so surprised that I can do that. So go ahead, Arvind.
Yeah, so I've been doing this heart rate training. I think I started 2022 February or January, I think 2022, so almost a year and a half. I have lots of learnings. I've set up a separate time to walk you through. I have plenty of material also to share. But to your point, what Jitu, like what you mentioned, right, is that the CP, it took, I mean, again, like, there's a lot of techniques Bala teaches, but again, the moment I use a certain heart rate for the CP, it completely changed. Yes, the pace became much slower. I mean, that's again the downside of it. But once you, I mean, initially it was like, from, I think when I started, like it was like 15 minutes. I used to do like 12 minutes. So my CP used to be based on like, all this, like a singing happy birthday and all those different techniques. I could do my CP, but I could do it 12 minutes a mile or 40 minutes a mile. It didn't really matter. It kind of looked all the same to me, right? But then, like, once I started focusing on my heart rate, I completely changed. My pace was like, to begin with, it was like 15 minutes a mile. It was like a heart wrenching to show that in Strava and all that. Oh, it is so slow. But once you get over it, then like, quickly within weeks, I could see the difference. The running became a lot more enjoyable, and then slowly from 15 minutes I went to 30 minutes a mile. So all fantastic experience. Again, like, I'll set up separate time to talk about. And cadence is another thing Jitu mentioned, right? Again, cadence also, I think a lot of people, again, I did the same mistake, getting this 180 in your mind and trying to hit that number. Again, like, I ended up hurting my, it used to hurt in my thighs, like back of my thighs. I tried it on treadmill, I tried on street running. No matter where I tried, I had the same problem. But then, like, Coach Watson suggested, like, don't get any number in your mind. Just put your feet like right next to each other and keep going. And then, like, I figured like I could do 170, or 168, maybe 165, 168 at that heart rate that I want to keep. Because the problem is, like, when the cadence gets higher, your heart rate is going to go. You're not able to keep it. It's like a trifecta. The pace, the cadence, your heart rate. If you increase one thing, the other two is going to mess up. So as long as you get that balance right, then it'll be fantastic. Again, you have to give it some time. It's not going to happen overnight. You have to give it a few weeks to see the progress, and then you will be making mistakes, and then course correction as you go.
Thank you, Arvind. I think that was the key message. So you could feel top of the world one day, like everything is normal, like heart rate is like the way you want, and next turn you go, it's like totally chaotic. So I think that has happened to me also sometimes. And normally my average heart rate comes out to 129 to 130, between like that. But there are days when it starts with 150 and it doesn't go below, and I think, what the hell I have done wrong? It could be lots of factors. You didn't have enough sleep, maybe you had a couple of drinks before the night, so that adds to it, because dehydration causes that. And there could be other stress factors. If you are stressed out, then the heart rate also goes in. So don't give up. keep trying, and that will help. Now, anybody else wants to share anything before I share my last experience, which I think will go through. I just wanted to tell you what techniques I use while running. Not that I'm bragging, but that helps. So that's what I wanted to basically share my recent experience. Rishi or Ajay, I think you shared. Nilesh or Parinita. Anybody else wants to share? Or any questions before we go to that? Anybody have any questions, any clarifications you want? Okay, so I'll take it as a no. No, then
This is Parinita. I had a question. Actually, I'm not sure if this is a question or what, but can you just talk about, is it okay to stop and walk while you're running, in the sense that I've always been under the impression that everybody who's running a half marathon or a full marathon, they don't stop, they're continuously running.
no.
It's a myth, I understand, but that's something that, I've over this session or this season with Bala, then I'm beginning to understand that is wrong. But if you could spend a few seconds on that. Thanks.
So I think there is something called banked runs. So what it means is that you run for whatever, let's say 0.8 or 0.85 miles or 0.9 miles, then walk towards the end. There are two things which happens with that. One is you can pace your run. Let's say you want to have some kind of a progressive reverse split. That's again advanced, but beyond that, if you want to make sure that you are not running out of breath towards the end of your run, so that is one way of doing it. So sometimes when I start, what I do is I run, and without even realizing, I see that I'm running at 11, whereas my conversation pace is about 13. So then around 45 or so, I will slow down, walk, so that I can pace around myself, and my HR also comes down. And then remaining another, I would say another 0.40 miles, I'll go running with my CP. And towards the end, then I can control. So that's how you create the PR. So there's no need to like some people say that it helps. And I initially, when I started also, I used to run 4 miles continuously. But now I pace it accordingly, every mile, 0.85 miles, and then or 0.9 miles, and then 0.1 mile walk. And that's Bala's strategy, because last year when I had my full marathon, I did not fully trained, but that was a qualifier for New York City Marathon. So I had to do that. So I spoke to Bala, and then he gave me that, don't even think of progressive reverse split or anything, just go with the run. So he advised me to go for 0.40, 0.1 mile rest, then 0.40, 0.1 mile rest. That worked until 17 miles, and then I had some other challenges, which is a different story. But I think that's the way to do it. If you are looking in the long distance running, until and unless you are like, there are some people who can run, like there is one person in my team, Sumi. She ran the whole half marathon without a break, which is tremendous. I don't have that kind of endurance or stamina. So there is no harm in stopping down as long as you can finish that half marathon. So that's the thing. Half marathon or full marathon, whatever is assigned to you.
Good.
Arvind, you add anything here? Because Arvind also.
Yeah, I mean, I think you covered it quite well. Again, like there is no right way or wrong way in this. It's all up to you. I mean, yes, I mean, there are some runners, they can run nonstop. But again, so I can give you some examples. Say, look at, I mean, the banking strategy, it works great. If you look at Coach Shankar, he does he banks every mile. You will see point. I mean, you can look at the it's run in Strava, exactly like a 1 mile, you will stop, like 0.95 or something, you will stop, you will walk, and then you will start again. Even if he does 10 miles or 12 miles, 30 miles, he does that technique. It works great for him. I know Coach Indu was injured last season, and she did walk run, and that's how she trained. There are different ways, different people, and I know Coach which one? I don't know which one. They stop every 3 miles to catch their breath, to to bring their heart rate to normal before start running again. So there are different techniques. Again, actually, there's like a walk run. There's also a book. The walk run is also a strategy. Like you could do like 5 minutes, 5 minutes run, 2 minutes walk. People do that also. That is also very popular, especially for weight loss and all that. People who aren't able to run to begin with. So there are different techniques. It's all really up to you. Whatever you feel like, if you want to stop after half a mile, regulate your heart rate and start running, perfectly fine. If you can run for 1 mile, that's also fine. So it's up to you.
Got it.
Yeah. So
Thank you so much, Arvind, and Coach Mo.
I also do the same. My all the runs, if you see, and I'm trying to find one which I want to show. That's what I wanted to show also. So this one, yeah. Hold on. Let us see how to bring it up. See, that's the problem. We are so used to phones that laptops. It's very difficult to display a run. Okay, let me just open this. There we go. Analyze. Yep. There we go. Okay, so let me show you one of the runs which I did, which is not 19th. Sorry. Okay, let me share my screen, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Come on. Okay. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Not yet.
No, not yet, Coach.
Is my Zoom? Okay, sorry. I thought I was sharing, but it share the screen. Okay. So I think this is the like Arvind mentioned. So this is what happens. Like you see the like you start with this and like start like what do you call at a speed which yeah, what is this? This is I don't know. This is something else. I don't know. I'm not able to bring up that run which this one, yeah. This is the 13 miles, yeah. So in this, like if we go here, if you see the runs towards the end, I think there's a cadence and all goes down, and I start like normally I go with 0.9 miles. Then after that I'll start walking. So you see there will be max pace also, different maximum paces. So at one point of time you're running at 11, 8:32 or whatever, but the average pace comes down to about 13. This is my comfort zone, so 13 miles or so. So I think that's what you should do, all of you should do, and accordingly the cadence also changes. So the max cadence is this, but average cadence is about 166, 170. That's the one. So there is nothing good or bad in that. Find whatever works for you and how you can make it best for your I think based on your body and your overall cardiovascular system. So I think that's all I wanted to discuss today. Is there any other questions, queries, or any doubts on how we are doing, and if you haven't started, where to start? Because I think Shweta mentioned that she will start picking up, and Parinita, I'm assuming you also will start doing that. Anybody else who wants to? And Nilima, I saw yours is I think pretty good. I think you are good with the Kapalbhati also, and if the I don't think there is any short distance or 5K or 10K here, but yeah, if you want to incorporate those strides, I will send that also as one of those recordings, and I think you can take it from there.
Yeah, I always like to bank my runs, so I start watching, and after watching I'm paying after all this information that this thing I'm paying a lot of attention to the heart rate, And as soon as I see my heart rate going down, going up in zone 3, I slow down, I walk, bring it down, and then walk. And yeah, that helped. But that I noticed such a big difference when I completed 17 miles, because otherwise I felt like I wouldn't be sustain. I wouldn't be able to sustain to 17 miles. But that slowing down, I think, gave me the energy.
And Nilima, I think she started as a 5K or something, and then like she was part of my cohort initially, and then I think moved to Indu. Again, like tremendous. Now she is under Bala, so she's doing full marathon, and her speed has gone up like anything. I think she was a slow runner. Now it's 11. I see your runs. It's about 11 or so.
But my average is I still is into 13 point,
But
13.3, like that. But yes, I can, I mean, sustaining the run that's what I'm focusing on, like, lowering, but I'm paying more attention to heart rate.
no, that's
Been good.
because you never know, because we try our best from all angles, but I think it's always good to keep things under control. And the
Yes.
only thing is it's consistent. You have to be consistent. You have to eat right, do the right things, and do some kind of exercises which don't really overburden you. And for the long runs, normally, as per Coach Bala and Coach Srivastan also like gave me some advice that don't go beyond, because I was very concerned that my pace is 13. For me, it takes about 6 hours to complete a full marathon, and in that, if I have some fatigue and all, it can go up to 6.5 or more. So they said as long as you run with your CP pace, you're good, and I think that's what I'm following. The first couple of miles, especially you're doing a long distance run, even before starting that, I would say walk about 0.25 miles or 0.5 miles without even starting your watch on, because I see when I start, my heart rate is slightly elevated, but moment my body gets warmed up, it starts going into the 120s and all. So that's another tip which I will write it also. So when you start, I have been telling my cohort that don't just start the workout straight away. Walk for about 0.25 to 0.3 or half a mile, so that your overall cardio system is like energized.
I just want to mention one thing. I heard a couple of people saying about the injuries and pain. I think Ajay said something about. So I feel what I notice is that stretching. Like if you're feeling some kind of pain, like knee pain or something, make sure that your hamstring is stretched, your quads are stretched. Stretching and roller, foam roller.
Oh yeah.
I mean, once your muscle is relaxed, it's going to make tremendous difference on preventing those injuries and reducing those pains. So stretching is the key. Even after whatever the stretch you do after run, that may not be enough. So if you feel, if you're noticing pain, just make sure that you're stretching those muscles.
Good that you brought up that point. That's the reason I wanted to show my run. So I think I used to use the knee braces. So apart from this breathing and yoga, I do lots of other yoga or other strengthening exercises also, you have seen in the channel. So what I have done is I had some knee issues after my first marathon. Nilima helped me out too. I think that I had IT band at that time. So I have started focusing on strengthening the knees. So now this is the first time I ran a half marathon without knee braces, without any pain. So I think the more you strengthen your knees, hamstrings, butt muscles, and calf muscles and all, the better off you are. I think Allah has put together lots of workouts there. But apart from that, you can always go to the gym. There are some machines which basically leg curls and all. So you should try using those. Biking is a good exercise after run, which basically I think I have seen that gives a lot of relief to the knees, apart from the stretching. So those are the things which you should try. I still have those braces. You never know when, because I have seen once you go beyond 12-13 miles, then you start hurting the knees. I might wear them, but I'm trying to see if I can go without braces this time. Let's see. So I think that's another thing. If there is a pain, then you need to stop. Pain is not gain, because that's all nonsense. I don't believe in that. Pain is real pain, so don't let it aggravate. Stop and then let it recover from the pain, and then come back. Because most of the people have hurt their knees very badly. when they think that I can limp through this and go across. So please listen to your body, be the best judge, and based on that, make a decision.
Pain is gain applies only when you're stretching. When you're stretching, you feel some pain, so you just try to breathe in, hold, and let go, and feel that. But otherwise, if you're feeling any joint pain, any sharp pain, please don't ignore. That you have to attend.
And one more thing I would like to share. I have seen this breathing. I maybe it's more of a psychological, because my teacher tells me that if you have a pain in some portion, the breathing, if you try to focus that I am focusing on, let's say I'm having pain in my shoulder, you try to breathe in such a way that think that this is going to my shoulder, the oxygen is going, you will feel a lot of relief. And there I read a doctor's a cardiologist or some other doctors, I'll try to find that link and forward, how he has been basically curing lots of pains, being a medical professional, how focusing oxygen or focusing the breathing to painful areas can help. So I think there is a lots of science behind that. So let me find out that particular clipping and send it across to the group here. These breathings help, especially this breathing in appropriate way, like providing the right oxygen level to the body. I think that really helps in a very good way. With that, I think we'll give you 10 minutes back today. It's been like a rainy day and lots of people are maybe enjoying pakoras and all, so not much interested in this, but I'm glad that we had this good attendance today, and I'll post the recording and also send those workouts, how to create those, and one more last thing. So before the Kapalbhati, I have taken a note of my reading on my watch, heart rate. It's about 55 or 60, which is the resting heart rate. And when I start doing Kapalbhati, I can raise it up to 160. And I will send the pictures of that also. So if you keep breathing appropriately, and it's like simulating a run actually. I sweat also. So that's why I always keep a towel with me. So I think this is like you are training your heart to go at a maximum heart rate. So I think that's very effective as long as you follow the right techniques and make it work to your benefit. So with that, I think let's conclude, and looking forward to the next meetup. And we'll try to do a podcast also on this, so that many people can hear. I think I'm working with Bala to set it up one, and then based on that, we'll go from there.
Thank you, Mo.
Coach.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good rest of the day, guys.
Take care.
Thanks,
Bye.
Coach. Bye.